And now back to Cobra News Now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cobra News Now. I'm your host, with you as always, Cobra's social media coordinator, Two Go Viper. Our friend Lawrence over at A Punk with Toys on the YouTubes this weekend, October 24th and 25th, going into the morning of the 26th, in partnership with Sarge and Red's Toy Store, is having the second annual Punk-A-Thon. This is a 36-hour stream benefiting Toys for Tots. All proceeds from all of the super chats, super stickers, super everything will be given to Sarge and Reds to help purchase toys for children that might not be having a very good holiday this year, and every little bit counts. Dig deep into them pockets, give some gold, give some gems of that size. So empty out them bank accounts like your Cobra Commander in Fort Knox. Give all you can to help Punk and Sarge and Reds help these children have a better Christmas this year. Last year, Lawrence was able to raise over $3,000 for this cause, and I know this year he would love to top it. So let's see if we can help him out. Links are down below. I can't think of a better reason for Cobra to get behind than helping out some children that could possibly be part of Cobra's army for world domination.
Cobra News Now will return after these messages.
Listen. Welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings, where I will ramble on for, I'm not sure, 3 hours, because I really have nothing. I have no slides. I've done nothing, because if you missed it, you maybe saw it at the beginning here. Starting Friday at noon, I will be doing a 36-hour plus stream to benefit Toys for Tots here in the Metro Detroit area. That means every super chat, super sticker, super everything, as Tuco Viper just told you, the Cobra social media guy, whatever he is. Also, if you want to skip the YouTube tax, I will open up my PayPal account and you can send it directly to me. I feel like I'm trustworthy enough that you guys know I'm not going to run off with a couple $1,000s or a few $1,000s to pad my pockets. Matter of fact, last year we raised $3,027, and that is the whole receipt right there. All right, so that is the whole receipt. We're going to be doing it again. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be going a full 3 hours today, because basically all I'm going to be doing is going over what is on the agenda for the Punk-A-Thon. I can't believe I just said it. For the Punk-A-Thon. Thank you guys for naming it that. As you can see in the poll, I created a poll because I still have to figure out how I'm going to do these giveaways, and there's lots of giveaways. I have at least 12 things to give away. Once I get the 3D printed stuff from Plastic Fantastic. And then on top of that, Tony's Figs has 2 things that he is going to give away. So we will do it on the 2 segments that he is involved in. And then we will be doing that live on the stream. And no, Tony cannot win his own stuff. He literally has to ship it out. So no worries there. Tony won't win that stuff. I can't promise you that he won't win everything else that's behind me. Okay. Actually, he can only win 2 of those things. He can only win 2 of those things. But if he wins them this year, he wins them. End of story. And Tony will be doing the Black Friday giveaway with me. So if Tony wins them this year, and I don't care if it is if it is the 2 final ones or the 2 first ones, it is not rigged. But damn, that is a great story. And I regretted it happening. It was like my worst fear. If you guys don't know, go watch the Black Friday giveaway from last year, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then for him to win it 2 times in a row, yeah. But I have more stuff than that to give away this year. And I mean, I have a lot. It's going to cost me a good amount of money to ship this out. So I'm still working on if I'm going to do it the same way. And obviously, with the tariffs, we're going to have to make a few more restrictions. And I'm still figuring all of that out. But the biggest thing is to figure out how I'm going to tier this up to give this stuff away, because I want to give everything away, but I'm only giving stuff away if we raise so much money. So that's what we'll be working on. Some of the stuff we'll be talking about today. Quickly here, we have Triple D, the Dolly Destroyer, member for 10 months, saying the special shout out to anyone I missed. I don't know who you missed, but because you've been a member for 10 months, you get a
fucking Phil Collins.
I'd call her in to do it, but I think she's doing homework. She's got like a whole bunch of tests and shit to do. Anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in, giving me some of your the beginning of your week. Last week I was not on vacation. I was sent to Ohio. You know my feelings on Ohio, and I have been inundated with lots of toys, like so many of you, and this was like the worst time. The stress is starting to build for this. It went so smoothly last year, so there's been less stress on me. But I'm still trying to get all these reviews out, so I took them. So you may have noticed, I think 8 different hotel reviews. Let's just say they're not as easy to do as you would think. Changing the camera around, moving stuff, making sure that you had proper light, making sure you didn't look like you were in a bathroom like those mean people from the Circle of Jerks were saying. But yeah, it was an interesting time for sure to do all that, but I wanted to try and get all that out. So that came in. I had to go to Ohio for training on a new not on a new Xerox machine, but on us taking on the Xerox line. That's not what we work on. We work on Kyoseras, but we need a production machine. So I was the one that got sent down for the first training in Canton, Ohio. In Canton, Ohio, there's a good toy store I found, Happy Pappies. I guess a few other ones that I didn't make it to. One, they said they just follow you around the store and they're super expensive. So I was like, not worried about that. But yeah, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is there, but they close at like 5, so I never made it there. I drove by it. There's not too much else out there. It's like Canton, Michigan. Seriously, we have a Canton, Michigan. It's the exact same. They have a Meijer there. And quickly, wow, look at this. I got to find everything quickly before we get into the shout outs here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Triple D, the Dolly Destroyer, with a $4.99 super chat saying practice run for the kids. Thank you very much, Daredevil Dave. I got a Daredevil review in. Did you see? I think I dropped it today. Right? Well, yeah, I think I did it today. Yeah. I've done so many. I was going to try and do another one. I have one coming out tomorrow. I was going to try and do 2 for tomorrow. I'm like, I don't want to even set up that camera. So anyway, 39 people watching right now. Please hit that like button if you haven't. Let's shout out to every single person that has been here, that is waiting and listen to me ramble on. But that's the name of the show, is Monday Night Toy Ramblings. So quickly here, we have Same Time Toys. We have Krusty O'Crow, Russell Lemieux. We have Southern Jiu-Jitsu. We have Evil Dookie. We have Liquid Identity. Snow Wolf is here. Tripwire. David R. We have a 3-star draw, which you may have saw his commercial. There are 4 more that you won't see until the Punk-A-Thon. And I think you're going to enjoy all of them because they're all pretty good. HK Viper is joining us. We have Matthew Matson jumping in. And what is he yelling?
Nerd!
We have Menhuza. We have U.S. Combat Dojo. We have Jeff joining us. Did I say Evo Duque, who will also be part of the Punk-A-Thon, along with a few other guys, and we'll talk about that shortly. We have Plastic Fantastic, who is the last one that I'm waiting on, and his 3D printed stuff. I'm not going to spoil it. Hopefully it gets here before then. But I trust him. I do trust Michael very much because he hasn't let me down, and he actually helped out Tony when Tony rigged the whole Black Friday giveaway. Gun Bunny Customs, who will be kicking it off with me about 12:30 or 1 doing customizing with Tony's Figs and Dreadnought Ryan. Whew. All right. I know there's more people here. We have Johnny Reno jumping in here, always giving me beers. I think they're root beers because he knows that I don't drink. Hi, it's me is here, except it didn't highlight, so it doesn't count, but now it does. And 3-star says, yeah, Tuco forgot to mention the PayPal. The guy that writes the script for the show is awful. He's not awful. He just needs a little bit of work. It doesn't matter. Like you said, like links will be in the description. And really the only link that you need to worry about will be that one right there. There he is, the guy that we've talked about. Tony's Figs giveaways are awesome. I mean it. I'm willing to bet that everyone that's watching right now has seen Black Friday giveaway. Normally, going back and rewatching someone's giveaway isn't all that fun, but I do ask that you go do it. I think you'll get a kick out of the stream. The way that I do it is fun because we get to eliminate people, but watching my face when it lands on Tony while he's on screen and then watching it again right after land on him again is something else. Jay Astro has joined us. We have Shark Eyes, who also will be on the 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. segment before he lets me go to sleep. Him and Ronnie trick shots, and again, they're in Australia, so their time works out a little bit better than, let's say, everyone else. We got Tripwire 788 jumping in here. If Tony wins anything, it's definitely rigged. You are still on my shit list. All right, I'm just gonna say it. You are still on my shit list. I know that you said that you gave me, but I didn't tell you. So, so the spiders that Tripwire put in as he sent the giveaways, he sent 3 things to give away, and he put a whole bunch of plastic spiders in it. And I totally forgot that I have cameras in my house, and Olivia was like, "You have cameras, you can put your expression." So I did it. And then he writes, and then he messaged me and says, "Dude, I had to do it." No, you didn't. You didn't have to do it. And then he says, "I gave you 2 boxes for the crystal balls. Just so you know, I got the stuff out and I threw everything in the garbage. I didn't. I didn't look for the boxes. I get boxes from work. I appreciate it, but I threw it in the garbage. I never even. I'm just saying." We have the Toilet Network, also known as Ed, my moderator. We have Baldy Locks Reviews, one of the Circle of Jerks. If you can believe this, he actually got the stream for our show tomorrow up before I even had this one done, which is really shocking because he never gets anything done. He never gets anything done early at all. We have Same Time Toys jumping in here saying, member for 20 months. And you're supposed to read when someone does this, but I don't have to read it because I have it
Fucking Phil Collins.
right there. We have Skunkworks Studios jumping in here saying, "Let's fucking go." Now we have Action Figs. Hey, I'm here. We have Plastic Skulls jumping in. Woo! I'm seeing a lot of the same names, but I like to go through everything. Action figures sold separately. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been tagging. I bought 4 different dials from him. One sits right here that I never take pictures with. I need to do more pictures with this one because it's a nice brick back wall. If you're interested, make sure when you see me post those, click his link. He has an Etsy store. His stuff is awesome. I don't want to hear anyone complain that the stuff's too expensive. This goes back to stuff that when I used to talk to Radnam about, Random Diorama, where people think, "Hey, this shit's too expensive." No, dude, this is someone's work. They're handcrafting it. They're shipping it out to you. And again, as much money as we spend on toys. So I don't want anyone to look and be like, he's expensive. Dude, it's someone creating something. Yeah, it's gonna be expensive, as it should. And I will vouch for all the pieces that I have. Bill K is in the house right now. We have GI Bro, who has the best guns in the business, as we can see right there. Legend Series, who will also be joining me twice. Who will be on. Well, I guess along with Shane, I guess I should have mentioned Shane same time twice. They will also be on doing Smoking Joe's at their normal time, only on my station. But he also will be on at 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. to talk wrestling. And he made some comment on Smoking Joe's about, yeah, this motherfucker, he puts us on at 1 a.m. because he knows no one wants to talk wrestling. And as I said, I got to fill 3 hours, or I got to fill 36 hours. And you're damn right, man. But it is a discussion that I have, because there are wrestlers, and the topic basically will be the best wrestlers to never have won a heavyweight championship, and that means WWF championship or the world title, not IC, not US, the big boys, right? The big belts. And he said he's been thinking about it, which I can see in his head. I can see him. He probably has a whole fucking list. Probably way more organized than I already am for this thing. But there are a couple wrestlers, and I'm not going to say their names. You've probably heard me say them before when we've talked wrestling. But there's a couple that have driven me nuts. Some of my favorite wrestlers. So that's what we'll be talking about at 1 a.m. And again, I'm going to be up for a long time. You guys can tune in then. And you guys do not want to miss the 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. I'm just going to say that. All right. If you go back and watch anything from last year, and you should go watch the whole thing, it was great. The 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., whenever that is, with Ronnie Trickshot and Shark Eyes, it's the best part of the show. Anyway, War Chest Full of Toys is here, and MCR has joined us. All right. The same time Toys is jumping and already saying Shane Douglas is the only name that comes to mind. You mean Dean Douglas? And there he is, Woody 222. What up, Punk? And yo, chat. And you know what? Woody always gets, he's been so good throughout this. He gets that. And Tony says, oh, every time Woody comes in, he gets a fart noise, and you start yelling at me for making fart noises with my mouth. Now, I'm not making fart noises with my mouth. Tony does this weird, annoying fart noise all the time when we're talking or when we're live. I mean, it's not eating on TV, or eating on stream, so there's that. So anyway, what do we talk about today? So I just want to say, I wanted to come live. If I didn't go live this week, I'm not going live next week. I made the mistake last year. I said, you know what? I'm doing 36 hours. I'm going to have all day Sunday, and I'm taking Monday off. I'll be fine to go on Monday. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. And I told Matthew, I said, if I decide to go live on Monday, it is your job to say, no, you're not. I didn't even make that mistake because I was so beat down. Obviously, I took all of this month off doing Thursday with the friend, and I think I'm going to try and do that probably going forward. Finding a month to take off doing Thursday with the friend once a year, just to give myself a little bit of time. And it worked out this month because of all the training that I had to do. And then obviously the Thursday show and different things like that. But next month, actually the next 2 months, I got to figure out what I'm doing because I have 4 episodes that I probably have to record. Now I already got one that I think we're going to do. I have a second person that I'm going to ask because I'm going to Assembly Required. I'm going to miss that Thursday, but I think I got that one nailed down because I'm going to have a Thursday with a friend recorded with someone that's going to be there also. But then we have Thanksgiving. Don't want to do that one. And then Christmas and New Year's both fall on fall on Thursdays. So I kind of got to figure all that stuff out. But that's future Lawrence problem. Now Lawrence is still trying to figure out this whole Punk-A-Thon. But anyway, not a lot of news, to be honest, and we'll be on tomorrow. So there's no G.I. Joe news, no real Marvel news, anything like that. I think they showed off the next 4 mask vehicles, but I don't think they showed off anything other than who they were, and it's nothing new until we actually see the designs of it. So we're just gonna go ahead and ignore everything that we could be doing. All right. So, was there anything else I wanted to talk about before I get into that? Yeah, the weekend, if you guys were wondering, it was reviews. It was all reviews. All reviews, and I got home. I did more reviews because I know this may sound crazy. I love doing it. I really do enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun. Do I refer to myself in the third? I don't think I do. I'm not The Rock. I try not to be that person. But sometimes I might. Sometimes I just might talk about myself. So, all right. So let's kind of get into what, if you're new to the channel or you're watching on the replay and you're like, what the hell is this Punk-A-Thon? Last year we called it the Stream-A-Thon. And when I started doing live streams, I had this crazy idea, and it goes back to the radio station that I used to listen to, that used to be on. And they used to do a 36-hour. Actually, I don't even think it was 36 hours, but we'll say 36 hours and it was all to raise money for cancer, because one of their updates, one of the update girls, she had cancer, and she fought it, and she beat it, and she fought it, and she beat it, and finally it took her. Now the radio station went away. There's still a sports station. Those guys are still on the air. They no longer do it, and I really wish that they did. I wish they did, but it was something I had in my mind that I wanted to do for Toys for Tots. And again, when you start doing lives, I'm not monetized. It takes time to get there. And then when I was finally monetized and all set, I just wasn't ready to do it. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't have as many subs as obviously last year, as the channel continues to grow, and I didn't do it. And then finally I committed to it at the beginning of last year. It was going to be October, and you have to look at how it goes. For the reason I do it in October and not November is they have to have the money in November. I'm sorry, they have to have the toys like I think at the end of November. But YouTube pays out October they pay October out in November. So I have to do it ahead of time, so I have the money to give Sergeant Reds, because my goal is to eventually raise as much as possible. And 3,000 is a huge amount, not something I can just pull out of my pocket. As much as people may make jokes about how much money I make on YouTube, it's not that much. But so that's the reason why we do it right at the end of October. So all the funds are there. I don't want to ask Sergeant Reds or anyone else to upfront the money like that, because that's a big chunk of change. Quickly here, we have Allison Troy jumping in here. Member for 29 months. So you get a
Fucking Phil Collins.
And why not? Because I don't need to read it. And then we got Stu for lunch saying Punk and the crew. Hello from Stu. That made me laugh. But I just did a review that I rhymed something and it made me laugh like a child. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So my idea was just to do this 36-hour stream. And the original thought in my mind was to get the bigger YouTubers, reach out to Geek Dead Life, Toy Anxiety, guys like Pixel Dan and all these other guys. And maybe it would do more. I don't know. Maybe it would do more. Again, bigger audience, different audience. But the more that I had thought about it, the more I said, I want to bring on people just like with Thursday with the friend, people that have supported me. Um, it looks awful to sit there and create a this huge stream and bring on these people that, and again, nothing against them. They have their own lives. They have their own things that they enjoy. And how does it look for 3 Star and Krusty O'Crow and my moderators, and I'm bringing on all these other people, and rather than them, the guys that have supported me. So I went back to the drawing board. I thought about it, and I wanted to bring on their shows. These are guys that I have a relationship with, and I said, let me bring on your show to be broadcast on my channel. Hopefully it gives you a boost going forward, but also hopefully it helps us raise some money. And that's where it all comes down to. That is that's the biggest thing that I'm looking to do, right? Is raise as much money as possible. My kids have never gone without. I never went without as a kid. So that's where this all comes down to. This is where it all comes from. It comes from this weird little thing. And even though I do everything on my own, and believe me, I don't do it on my own, I handle everything internally. And that's kind of this is just how I am, unfortunately, at times. So I have a lot of help from people. Matthew, Ed, they will be constantly helping me. It's just my own little thing. And I have a thing with, I kind of a control freak when it comes to certain things. If you guys haven't figured that one out yet. And then quickly, I got to throw this in here. Matthew, my stuff isn't working. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I just like it.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Jedi Ben saying, hey to Stu. Great to have you. I've never seen your name, at least not that I remember. We got Stanley Eberhardt jumping in here, and we have a GI Jetman all jumping in here. So great to see you guys. So anyway, back to the whole stream. That's where the whole idea, the whole premise comes from. But I will say this. Last year, again, the stress of people not showing up, not raising any money, and not raising enough money. And we did. So I'm not saying we didn't. But the stress of maybe not raising enough money to justify spending there for 36 hours where I could have been like, dude, I could have just given $400. Didn't happen. And that was because of every single one of you. Some of you gave more than others, but that's not the point. If you can give 99 cents, then that's awesome. If you can give $5, awesome. If you can give $300, even better. But I appreciate in every single dollar goes so far. If I was able to get $1 for every single sub, we'd be looking at almost $8,000. And we know a lot of those subs are inactive subs. They disappear. They do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's something that I feel like if me sitting in the seat for 36 hours is the least that I have to do to allow kids to have a good Christmas, then it's worth it. Because I'm just taking some time off of work. And then I'm going to sit around here with my fucking friends, my YouTube friends, some of them I know in real life, and chat with them and do different shows. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm very interested in seeing how this goes and how far we get with all of this. All right. Allison jumping in here saying, I gave my blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of sass. Yes. But, I appreciate it. And that's why I've asked you to come on. Because one thing is, as much BS as you give me, you're actually a good person. Just so you guys, Allison is actually a good person. She is. She's kind of an asshole too, but that's a whole nother thing right there.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
All right. So Broby1 Kenobi saying, good evening, everyone. I swear I've never seen you. But I feel like, I was going to say, I feel like you have to be like this guy here, like his alter ego. The fact that there is Jedi Ben. But then I see him make a comment. So I don't know. And I know Matthew messaged me. He's either going to tell me you're absolutely wrong or not. He actually says, okay. Okay. Makes sense. But anyway, if you don't know, that Bruce Campbell, I just like that. So this is a little I just like to play it. So all right. So the way this works is that starting at noon on Friday, I start doing what roughly will turn into a 36-hour stream. I take a short break from about 6 to 10 a.m. The stream still goes on. At that point, my moderator, will jump on. That's Ed, and he will do Clubhouse Coffee. So that will kind of be a smorgasbord of people. I believe Oz will be on there. Last year, I woke up to Brooke being on there. Michael from Toy Habits was on there. For the record, between that 6 and 10 a.m., the only person that had perfect hair was Brick. The dude, he's not real. He's not real. His hair was like fucking perfect. I'm like, how the fuck is your hair perfect? And remember, he's in California, and he said I had to take my mother-in-law. I had to take my mother-in-law to the airport. That doesn't explain why your hair is perfect on a Saturday morning. Sean Jones jumping in here saying, "What up, Punk and chat? Happy Monday." Allison says, "I hate the kids as much as Tony hates diversity." That is a lot. All right. So starting off on Monday, I'll be kicking it off. Kind of going over what we're going to be doing, and we'll go from there. Around 12:30 or 1, depending how long that goes, we're gonna jump into we're gonna jumping into customizers, and I don't know how this is gonna go. I still have to get pictures and create some slides and stuff. But I asked Gun Bunny Customs, who is one of the best customizers in the business. He's also one of the fucking craziest. Buying HasLabs to fucking paint as Tiger Force and Python Patrol. I mean, first off, he's putting an awful color on these things, but does it amazingly. I asked Dreadnought Ryan Sweeney. He's going to be jumping on to talk about some customizing, and obviously Tony's face, the second best customizer in all of Arizona, right behind Cage's Customs, Johnny Reno. So we'll be doing that for about 2 hours. How that's going to go, what we're going to fully talk about, I can't say just yet. But Tony reached out to me and he said, hey, he goes, I have a Vega that I'd like to give away. Can we somehow do it? And I said, actually, he has 2 things to give away, and we're going to give away one on Circle of Jerks and one on this. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to do this. I know there's a way to do the hashtag. I don't know how to do the fucking hashtag thing. So you're able to put in like, hey, say like hashtag, custom. And then you search for it, and whoever has that wins. But I don't know how to fucking do that. And to find it, yeah, good luck. Trying to Google that and find that shit. You type in hashtag, it's telling you about hashtags. I don't give a fuck about hashtags. But I have another idea that I might use. Because, to be honest, the wheel of names can be a pain in the ass. But I think I found a way to do the wheel of names. So, I'm thinking right now, and then again, this might change by Friday. If you donate during the segment from a specific time, we're doing customizers. If you donate anything, I can just write your name down right there in the wheel of names as we go along. And then at a specific time, we're going to roll. But you got to be there. That's what I got to figure out. for this, does someone have to be there? I may let that one slide and just be like, hey, you're gonna have to reach out to me. If you're not here, because it's a difficult one to do. Quickly here, I wanna find out something. Got a couple messages from a few people. I'm not even on the right Instagram. All right. So Robert, action figures sold separately, just said he will donate one of his dioramas for it. So let's see what we can do. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to work that into it, and see how we can make that work. Because again, this is all about raising as much money as possible. And these things are awesome. They're all downstairs. The other one that's here, and it has all kinds of stuff on it, so I'm not going to move it. So, and then let me see here. Okay. Sorry. This is when you do a show on your own, and you're reading other shit. But it is for the show, just so you guys know that. We have Bjorn Jacob jumping in here. He was actually on last year. I had Mark on. He actually kicked it off last year. But he has a lot going on, and sometimes it's hard to schedule things. So that's why I reached out to a couple other people. And then we have a Capitan jumping in here, 35 minutes late. Hey, just go back and rewatch it. You're going to see a lot of good stuff. There's still a lot of stuff to get to. So anyway, that's how the first 3 hours are going to that's how the first 33 hours are going to the first 3 hours of the show are going to go. So anywhere from 12:30 to 3, we're going to be talking customizing. It may start from 1 to 3. It all depends on how the opening really goes. Those guys will be ready to go. Between the 3 and 6 o'clock hour, I don't have anything. But I have reached out, and I think what we're hoping to do is I'm hoping to have D or John from Sergeant Reds do a walkthrough of the store. And I want to have people on when they do. Because last year, I know how great I have it here. I have really good toy stores. And to have Sergeant Reds, I feel I'm blessed. I can pretty much find anything. If I really want to find something, I can probably find out. John can probably find it somewhere. He can probably find it somewhere in his warehouse or in his basement. But watching the faces of some of you guys fucking drop as they're walking through that store was awesome. It was awesome to watch. So I'm hoping to have some people on when they come on so they can do a walkthrough of the store. And again, they're part of it. They give us a discount. All these toys are brand new. They're not old Power of the Force. The Marines, the Toys for Tots, they want new stuff. They don't want old Power of the Force stuff like what we're trying to do for shit. So, that's the stuff that they do. So there'll be a walkthrough if all goes well. That's the plan. But from 3 to 6, we're just gonna have a whole bunch of people on. So you can kind of rotate in, kind of like the Clubhouse if you ever watch that. There's a few other shows that do the same thing. They just have people kind of rotate in. I won't just be put a link out. You kind of got to ask me for a link, or you're going to get a link, right? Because I don't just want anybody trying to show up, because even though it's for charity, there's a lot of assholes out there that will try and ruin stuff because they're just miserable people. We got Todd C jumping in here. Great to have you here. All right, so from 6 to 8, well, we're just moving days. We're still doing Tuesday, but we're going to have the Circle of Jerks 6 to 8. I think Baldy had an idea to talk about, but then he kind of asked me, hey, what do you want to talk about? The whole point of me having shows on is so I don't have to fucking figure it out. It's so I don't have to fucking figure out everything that needs to be done. It's 36 hours, and as much as I can talk, and I can talk a lot, and I can do Thursday, I can do a 3-hour Friday or I don't even Monday show. I can't do 36 hours, not without losing my mind. So I still got to talk to Baldy again. You guys have watched it. We could talk about absolutely nothing, and you guys will tune in and have a blast because this is where I'll pat myself on the back. We have fucking good chemistry. We all do. But this was another thing. Tony said, I have a Captain America Venom 2-pack that I'd like to give away. And I said, well, you know what? Let's do that on Circle of Jerks. So we'll probably be doing the same thing, the Wheel of Names. We'll probably be doing it that way. And again, it's going to be easier. I can just kind of type it in as we go along. But it'll only be people that donate. You got to donate. And I still haven't decided if it's going to be either 99 cents or $300. It's the same. But I don't know, maybe if you donate 5 times, you get 5 names. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm definitely, Tony cannot win either of his own gifts. Either of his own giveaways, he has to give away. Todd C says, Punk is telling us he's spending $5,000 on Skibidi toy. If I can figure out what a Skibidi is before the Black Friday giveaway, I will spend it all on Skibidi toys and just vanish off YouTube. So Tony, again, he's done the same thing that I've done, and so many of you. Shit, I forgot to cancel an order, so he has it. I know a lot of people like that cap. That Captain America is great. The Venom is even good. I know some people complain that it's blue. It's a really good figure, to be honest. So yeah, just you have to tune in. You have to donate. But 99 cents to get your name put in the wheel, in the wheel. Hell, if only one person donates in that 2-hour block, or it'll probably be about an hour and a half because I want to give some time. You have a chance to win. Now, I want to raise $3,000 in that 2 hours. Will we? Probably not. Would it be great? Hell yeah. The channel's fucking grown. And hopefully every single one of you that has a channel, that has Instagram, I hope you guys are going to help push this out. Because this doesn't get done without you. I'm not sitting up here for 36 hours to make $200. I can donate that on my own. It's to donate more than I can afford. So that's going to be my my circle of jerks, right? We're all going to be on there. I believe, as of right now, all 5 of us are going to be there. So, and maybe at the end, maybe at the end, we'll introduce Matthew Matson and Spec to each other. They can finally talk. Maybe that can be, we can watch them virtually shake hands. We'll see. So that's what we're looking at there. Again, regular time, your 6 to 8. That's pretty much what we go. Actually, we go 6:30, don't we? 6:35. Anyway, close enough. Quickly, here we go. We have 610 Yojo Daddy saying, what's up, Lawrence? What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. Make sure you tune in to Punk-A-Thon. Sorry, not commenting, working on displays. Hey, I'm glad to have you here. I like just people watching. Okay. So here we go. The next show that we're going to have, 8 to 10. We are having the Backyard Battlefield with our friends, 3-star draw. It's Down South 77. Backyard Battlefield. I don't know. He has like 18 fucking names. Drives me nuts. And Krusty Old Crow. And I'll just say, okay, 64 people. You're going to see more of this. And these are really good. And he put a lot of work into this.
And now back to Cobra News Now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cobra News Now. I'm your host, with you as always, Cobra's social media coordinator, 2Go Viper. Our friend Lawrence over at A Punk with Toys on the YouTubes this weekend, October 24th and 25th, going into the morning of the 26th, in partnership Well, Sarge and Red's toy store is having the second annual Punk-A-Thon. This is a 36-hour stream benefiting Toys for Tots. All proceeds from all of the super chats, super stickers, super everything will be given to Sarge and Reds to help purchase toys for children that might not be having a very good holiday this year, and every little bit counts. Dig deep into them pockets, give some gold, give some gems of that size. So empty out them bank accounts like your Cobra Commander in Fort Knox. Give all you can to help Punk and Sarge and Reds help these children have a better Christmas this year. Last year, Lawrence was able to raise over $3,000 for this cause, and I know this year he would love to top it. So let's see if we can help him out. Links are down below. I can't think of a better reason for Cobra to get behind than helping out some children that could possibly be part of Cobra's army for world domination.
Cobra News Now will return after these messages.
All right, so I will say again, there are 4 more of those, and they all serve a purpose. Some of you know there was this thing called Tuco Viper that Darren did, and he basically sent this Techno Viper around, and it's been all over. Some of us have an idea of who it went to. We've seen some of the pictures, but the whole goal was for this to end up all over the place and getting pictures with this actual Techno Viper, Tuco Viper in different spots. So he has been literally all over the world. He was at Joe Fest. Would have been nice had we known he was at fucking Joe Fest. We could have actually taken some fucking group shots with him. Not that I'm bitter about that or anything, but you know what? Just saying. But there will be more to the whole Tuco Viper lead up during their show. So anyway, from 8 to 10, we're going to have the backyard battlefield on. And I'm not really sure what they have planned. Again, the whole point is for them to present their show on my channel to hopefully get some more of an audience. Because that's what this is also supposed to be about, to help promote other people. Johnny Reno says, every time I hear Tuco, I think of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Is that what he was supposed to be going for? I don't know. Stefan Cormeric, dang, Cobra recruiting the Deep South. Stu for lunch, dude. I would love to hit 100 grand. Now, again, remember the biggest problem is if you send super chats, YouTube, there's the YouTube tax, which absolutely sucks. But it's easier for some people. Some people aren't going to feel comfortable sending directly to PayPal. And until you hit 10,000 subs and you got to do a few things, there's no way to do it as a charity. So hopefully next year, I'll be sitting at 10,000 subs well in advance that I can petition to them to allow me to do a stream like that. I don't know if they will, but hopefully they will. But I'm still a little too far away from that. But we're moving up there, right? And within the next 2 years, we shouldn't have a problem at all. And quickly, where was it? You said losing these. Yeah, action figures so separately. Action figures sold separately, saying that thing is awesome. Dude, there's some really good ones. There's some really, really good ones. And again, you'll be able to go watch it. Now, I will just say this, the whole Tuco Viper thing, if you know about it, again, it's not being shown on my channel. This was Darren's thing. And I said, hey, maybe we can promote it a little bit to help you out. And he's put a lot of work into it. I think he said, you put 20 hours into it. So I appreciate it more than you know. Again, you'll be seeing that a good amount. And once we're done after, you'll see the other commercials throughout my channel as I need more time. Alex Martinez jumping in here saying, hello, Mr. Punk. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing there. That is that's the 8 to 10. 10 to 12, we're bringing back Punk-A-Thon film. Matthew loves Punk-A-Thon film. I enjoy Punk-A-Thon film. Punk-A-Thon film is a lot of work. Punk-A-Thon film is more work than you realize. So I feel at least once a year we can do it. And this year we're going to be doing Gross Point Blank. Now, I have never seen Gross Point Blank till, oddly enough, I was in Ohio. I watched it in Ohio. I'm watching it for a second time, and I'm writing down some notes. You would have thought that a movie about Gross Point, which I've driven through so many times, and I've talked about it, certain aspects of it, you think they would have watched it, but I had no interest in it. As a matter of fact, I had no idea what it was about. I had absolutely no idea what it was about until I watched it. So, all you guys, watch Gross Point Blank before Friday. If you haven't yet, refresh your mind, refresh your memory, so you can chat about it with us. I will be breaking down a lot of things that I hear in it and referencing whether or not it has to do with Michigan. And I can tell you there's a lot of stuff that really has to do with Michigan. I don't know if the writer, the director, whatever, if they're from Michigan, but they nailed a lot of things. And again, I'm going back, that thing was in, I think it's 98, 96, 98 it came out. So there's a lot of stuff for me like, holy shit, dude. Like, yeah, that's right. It was right around the time that the Red Wings were getting good. Clint Jorgensen jumping in here saying, isn't this going to be the third Punk-A-Thon? Second. This is the second annual Punk-A-Thon. If I would have had bigger brass balls, it would be the third one, but I was not ready to do it the first year. This has been in my mind since I started. This has been in my mind. And again, I had to make the decision early on last year that I wanted to, not that I wanted to, that I was going to commit to it. And yeah, Matthew Madsen, yes, there's a lot of Michigan in the movie 1997. Well, yeah. And you can tell that it was filmed a lot. I don't know if all of it was filmed here, but I can tell certain aspects of it were definitely filmed here. But there's one specific thing that I told Matthew you got to have because I want to talk about it. And it's something I've talked about before, but to actually see it in the movie and know everyone can see it is something unique. But if you know what Punk-A-Thon film was, we used to watch a movie every other week. We break down a movie, and it was an old 80s movie, usually a campy one or whatever. And then we talk about it. But watching the movie 2 or 3 times within a 2-week span, doing all the slides, doing all the notes, it took a lot. It took a lot out of me. I know it took a lot out of Matthew when he used to, when he would do the stuff. So it was just one of those things that I had to kind of make the decision, and it sucked to do. But it's just one of those things that there's only so much time in a day. And believe me, I wish there was more time. I wish there was more time. Plastic Skulls became a new YouTube member. So you're definitely going to get a...
Welcome to the Creamery.
Welcome to the Creamery. Great to have you, Plastic Skulls. And you're coming in, just in time. Because anyone that is a channel member, remember, when you do the Black Friday giveaway, you automatically get your name put in. So if you do what you're supposed to have your name put in, you'll get your name in twice. That's how Tony won 2 times in a row. That's how Tony won 2 times in a row. Hashtag not rigged. Hashtag not rigged. So yeah, that's going to be our 10 to midnight. Between midnight and 1 a.m., it's going to be open. Anyone can jump on. We can talk about stuff, hear what you guys have to say, see how you think it's going. Throw in more donations. I don't want to sit on the screen for an hour by myself, but I do it anyway, so does it really matter that much? No, it doesn't. I'll do it because, once again, It's for the kids. It's for the children.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Cliff Doc Christensen saying, "Fixed. I don't remember seeing you, although your icon looks familiar. But I'm on so many of these streams, and I may have seen you before. Great to have you. And if you were here, just be glad you got to hear Ash." Sean Tate jumping in here saying the scene in the party store with Ace of Spades playing is great in Gross Point Blank. That's so funny because I do have something to say about that, the whole convenience store thing. But that's how it was back then, right? If you had like headset, you're not gonna hear anything. Maybe you'd hear some gunshots, but yeah, that's hilarious. Where he's just sitting there playing along, or playing that game. And that attitude that he has as a kid, like as he walks away, all pissed off that he's got to find a job. That is so what like a 19 or 20-year-old would be like. Oh, not that the place got shut up and he almost died. But yeah, so we're gonna have an open space between 12 midnight and 1 a.m. From 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I have asked Toy Connections. Someone might want to let Ken know that he's supposed to come on. He said he will come on, but he's doing a show. But I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna be on doing the show at this time. Ted Darklaw, other wrestling fan, and then Tony Legend series. And the topic is the best professional wrestlers that have never won the world title. And I'm talking heavyweight title or WWF title. There's a lot of good ones. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time never won it. I think one of the most perfect wrestlers never won it. I'm not going to say any more names. Tony said he's really been thinking about it. But I want, if you guys are wrestling fans, and Tony made a comment like, the motherfucker knew no one wanted to talk wrestling, so he puts us on at 1 a.m. Got 36 hours I got to fill, right? I got 36 hours I got to fill. So yeah, that's what you get. You get our wrestling. And again, I'm not a wrestling fan like anymore. I was a huge wrestling fan. I don't know if you know, I was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 people. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's a little secret. I don't always tell people. So yeah, we're I gotta pick the spots, right? You kind of gotta understand, know what it's gonna do, where it's gonna sit. Clint says Bret Hart won it, so one guy is off. So Bret Hart won it, so one of your guys got it. Bret Hart was never one of my guys, but yes, he did get it. Well, Booker T did win. Booker T won the world title. I can tell you this: if Booker T never won a world title, he would be on it. He would definitely be on my list of guys that never won it. And I'm not doing, and Tony can, however they want to do it. Yes, he's a five-time. I will not be doing the windmill. No, he actually won it 6 because when he got the WWF, he won it. There was a 6th time, and I'm like, that totally ruins his 5-time. But I'm not doing it where it's like, oh, hey, you know what? They never won. If they won the world title, then they won a world title, right? It doesn't constitute as, they never won the WWF. Although I may change that because now that I'm thinking about it, I think there's a few that may have won a world title and I wasn't. So I didn't watch the NWA or WCW. I watched the WWF till later on in life. So But we're going to be talking. I'm sure other wrestling topics may come on. Hell, we may even bring in another person or two if someone else wants to talk wrestling. It's funny when you talk about old wrestling, a lot of people pop up that they used to watch it, and there's still a lot of people that are very passionate and angry about certain people that never got to win the heavyweight title or WWF. So that's what we'll be doing then. And I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to it. Wrestling talk is fun. It truly is. But then we end up with an open hour. But before we get to the open hour, let's take a look at something.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mossman again.
And Dopey.
No, you're not part of this one.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back to the Punk-A-Toys Toys for Tots Streamathon. So this is going on from October 25th through October 27th, which is streaming non-stop. So we've made a whole bunch of money so far to donate for Toys for Tots, but we can still keep going. We still got some time left. So if you want to participate, you can send a super chat or a super sticker, or maybe even consider becoming a channel member. And all that money, Lawrence is going to take that and go to this really cool toy store, Sergeant Red's. He's going to buy toys, and all that's going to get donated for Toys for Tots. But anyway, we still got a whole bunch of really awesome content coming from a lot of great content creators. So let's get back to the show.
All right, so that's from last year. That was one of the Mossman commercials. Tony Figs loves Mossman. I usually get anywhere from 10 to 15 texts from Tony during a Monday night ramblings asking, "Hey, play Mossman, play Mossman." But he can't play it the whole time. Like, he's always hounding me. That's why I have Mossman right here. Like, he's right here on a polar bear. All right, who doesn't love Mossman on a polar bear? Using Panther's saddle. I know Tony loves it. Like, seriously, the amount of texts that I get, sometimes he even calls me. I'm like, dude, I'm doing a show. I can't talk to you. So that was one from last year. Ted Darklaw really went above and beyond. So I still play those. I still love Dopey. We need more of Dopey. Cooter's Garage jumping in here saying, made it just in time for Mossman. Don't worry, there's more. Now, Cliff is saying here, does Ventura and Piper count? So, again, I don't think either one of them ever won the heavyweight title. There's other guys that I know Tony can probably say, but I'm going to say try and save it. Show up at 1 a.m. because we'll need more people at 1 a.m., right? So, from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., another open segment. Yeah, so again, I don't know if Ventura ever won. I didn't think Piper had ever, and I would definitely say, well, again, it's your list. It's what you think. It's what you think. I will say this: I would never put Jake the Snake on it. I never liked Jake the Snake. But you know, you have your own. Yep, I saw Mo from Men on a Mission had passed away. He's not making the list. Rip, rest in peace. He's not making the list of the best wrestlers to never make it. Never win a title. All right. From 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. I don't expect everyone to be awake. I don't know what they are planning fully yet. But what I do know, what I do know is that last year, Ronnie Trickshot, who I always thought was the quiet one, was so anything but quiet. He came with some bullhorn that he was playing, to make sure I was awake. He has sound. I don't know how he does the sound. I thought it was going to wake my kids up. It actually didn't, because my daughter's, I guess, sleeps through everything. It was a hell of It was a hell of a segment. Those 2 hours, I will tell you again, I loved everything that the Streamathon, which became the Punk-A-Thon, was last year. Those 2 hours, so many people went back and watched it. It was so much fun. I don't know how they're going to top it, but I believe that Ronnie probably started thinking about it the moment we finished up at 6 a.m. And it is very interactive. And this year, I believe it's going to be the same thing. So I am definitely interested to see what it's going to be. I know Ronnie said he's got to send me some stuff, but he asked me not to, when he sends it, not to look at it because he doesn't want me to be spoiled. And I appreciate that. I have no intention of wanting to be spoiled. They, when I was on with them a couple years ago, they had other segments that were very comical. So all that stuff is just, they put on a hell of a show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And Shark Eyes is saying we are planning Armageddon. And Shark Guy says, I can confirm Ronnie had an initial idea, but we went another direction. Yeah, well, that's when Ronnie said that he had an idea, or that they've already had something, and you're like, oh, we didn't agree on this one yet. I can only imagine what your original idea was that you decided not to go with. But that's what's going to happen from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. That is going to be one that you will definitely want to go back and watch. Now, before I get into what's going on after that, if you go and look at my live streams right now, you'll see 4 different live streams set up. And the reason for that is if you do a live stream over 12 hours, YouTube hides it. So you would need a direct link. You will need a direct link to find it. And that kind of defeats the purpose, right? There are segments that I want people to see. And this year I'll probably go back and maybe cut it up and cut up the shows so you can watch it a week or two later in the actual shows, whether it be Smoking Joe's, Ronnie and Shark Eyes. So it's in 4 different segments because of that. So you will need to kind of find it. Won't be hard to find. It's on this channel. And there will be no multi-streaming. All right. This is all on my channel because I don't want this to be broadcast on Baldy's and then him get a super chat. And I'm not saying Baldy wouldn't give me the money, but the whole point is for people to send the super chats here so it can funnel into one area and then go to Sergeant Reds because it's all for charity right here. See, as Woody Triple G says, for charity. Woody says top 10 weed strands and smoking shows. Well, I guess I'll have 2 hours to take another nap then. Shark Guy says, if you're familiar with the kids show Bluey, well, it won't be anything like that. I am not, except I know the name. That's about it. All right. So starting at 6 to 10 is where I bolt. I am approaching 50. I can't stay up for 36 straight hours. Not anymore. Also, last year, I made the mistake of driving my daughter to school thinking I could just come home and crash. I was wound up. I couldn't go back to sleep. So I let her mom know. I said, hey, when you pick her up on Thursday, just take her home. So you can take her to school. I'll pick her up. She has a half day, so I got to pick her up at like 10 or 10:15. I'll be up by then anyway. This way, I'll be able to actually sleep in a little bit. But yeah, it's one of those crazy things. Quickly, and Johnny says, Lawrence, as we get closer, can you post a full schedule on the punk? Yes, that is a great idea. I'll not only will I do that, I will post it in the community chat. I'll have everything kind of scheduled so you guys can look and see everything. So yeah, I will do that. Thank you, Johnny. That is actually a really good idea. Stu says, If Punk stays up longer than 12 hours, then call your doctor. I can stay up. It should not stay up 12 hours. So anyway, from 6 to 10 a.m., this is where Ed will take over. If Matthew wants to jump on, he can also, but I think Matthew's usually sleeping at that time. But Ed's going to take over. They're going to do Clubhouse Cafe. So Oz should also be on it. They'll have other people, I'm assuming. I know last year, like I said, I think Brick was on. I know Toy Habits, Michael from Toy Habits was on. I want to say my buddy's Customs was on. There was a few people when I woke up and was kind of like, oh wow, look at who these guys are. So that's going to be the 6 to 10 hour, right? You wake up in the morning, turn something on, donate $2, $3, $4. Remember, just keep donating. It doesn't technically matter when you donate, but if everyone donates in the first 4 hours, then you end up just sitting there going, why would we do this for 36 hours if we could make all that money just in 4 hours? So when people see people start donating, that's when they'll start throwing stuff in. That's what matters. Okay. Let's see, where is it at? I think I have to switch my page. All right. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is just going to be, I guess, another open segment. I'll kick off those Clubhouse guys. So people can just jump on. 11 to 1, this is where I kind of get to just sit back and relax. And I get the color with Allison. Last year, we colored Stitch for my daughter because my daughter loves Stitch. I keep everything. I've been on with Allison 3 times, and we've colored the Care Bears and Cobra Commander. Yes, this stuff always sits right by me. This year, I believe we're going to be doing Moss Man. I asked Allison about it. She said, I have a whole bunch of Moss Man. She sent over a link. Allison, I've never looked at it. I've never looked at it at all. I will get back to you sometime this week so we can pick out what Moss Man, or you can just fucking send one over to me. You can just send one over to me. I'm awful with that. I've been so busy, and I know I talked to you already about it. So we're gonna pick a Moss Man. We're gonna color. We'll chat bullshit. You can hear a bunch of Allison's stories. Usually she'll tell shit about her ex's mother or her ex. She loves talking about them. Darren says 277 incoming. So Darren will donate like 277 throughout the stream. So it just constantly keeps rolling in. It gives people an idea. Oh yeah, shit. You know what? I should do that. But yeah. So, so Clint Jorgensen says you should do a segment with Jess, Gaines, and Jerk so Gaines can have a threesome story. They jumped on last year, and there's nothing against them because they are more than willing to jump in during any open segment. But I'll say it again, there's only so much time to go around. And that's the hardest part, right? There's only so much time, so many spots. Because if you start condensing to 1 hour, then you're leaving more room for things to fail, if that makes sense. And Legend says, I love coloring. Me and my wife color every weekend. You should watch Allison. It's weird, like this whole adult coloring thing. I mean, seriously, you're like, really fucking adults color? And then you look around and you're like, yeah, who the fuck am I to talk, right? I just got like $2,000 worth of toys in the past 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah. So yeah, we'll be coloring, telling stories. Again, Allison is a trip. I mean, you only see Allison from here up. Actually, about here up usually. But you'll get to see her color too. She has it all set up perfectly. Once I kick Allison off, 1 to 2 is another open segment. And then from 2 to 4, I'm doing a photography thing. I'm having some of the guys in the community that do photography. Matthew and Ed will both be on. If you've seen their photography, it's great. And then I have Emerald Knight coming on. I've reached out to one other person so far. One reason why I don't reach out to a whole bunch of people is because if you get too many people on the stream, there's too many talking heads, right? It's hard to get a word in. You end up talking over each other. If you have Tony on, then he's constantly talking over you. If you never noticed, watch tomorrow, Circle of Jerks. Tony will talk over every single one of us and not care. And then complain at the end going, I got to stop doing that. No, dude, it's your thing. But yeah, so I'm going to get some pictures from all of them, hopefully. There's a few other people that I might reach out to because I have reached out to one other person and he said he wasn't sure. I guess now is time, now or never. But there's a couple people that I had in mind that we see do photography in the community. And again, if I don't ask you, it is nothing against you. It's just only so much time and so many people. You're more than welcome to chime in. And again, I'm going to have open segments for everyone. So that's something new that I'm going to be doing. I guess a lot of this is new, but I didn't have that last year. From 4 to 6. From 4 to 6. Well, let me see if I can find what I need. And that is
idiots, incompetent buffoons. What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought. Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
all right. So from 4 to 6, we're getting the daily blend. It can't be the evening blend because it's during the day. Matthew and Pop are going to be on. Matthew, they already had an idea, a topic. This one I love because Matthew has full controls to the StreamYard, which means he can load his own fucking slides and do it however he wants. And I don't have to do shit. But beg and plead for super chats for the kids. And I believe we're going to be doing something, Matthew, if I'm incorrect, correct me. I believe we're going to be talking about, I think, like horror stuff, werewolves, vampires, something like that. But either way, he has control, which I'm perfectly fine with. Cow Shave jumping in here saying today had a bit of a mini manic episode, and today it started building a 1/2 Terradrome diorama in classified scale, and none of it is 3D printed so far. My kitchen table floweth over. Woo, man, oh man. Good luck. I know he's not giving it away, and that is plastic fantastic, but his 3D printed Terradrome is something else. But yeah, so we're gonna have the evening blend on. Again, my moderator, so why not have you know what? Viper Scout just got banned from the fucking Talking Spiders. Really, fuck you guys. All right, I hate all of you. Horror villain versus in brackets define the ultimate horror villain. Now, see, I'm not a huge horror fan, but I do know the different villains, and I've seen, I think, enough to know. Graf jumping in and saying sword domination. 3-star gonna be a guest and show him how to draw a sword from your back. Must see TV. That makes me laugh. All right. 6 to 8, the regular time slot only on my channel. We call this a hostile takeover when I take over someone else's channel, and that is Smoking Joe's with Same Time Toys, Woody 222, the Figure Addict, Legend series now, who is now part of it, and I'm not quite sure if Legend series wife is now part of it or not. But she will be a future guest on Thursday with a friend. So either way, I'm more than happy to have her on it. Dominique. And I don't know. Originally, Woody had asked if they would have a problem if I brought on, or if they had brought in like a special guest. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I don't know if they have what they have planned. Again, my whole goal is for other people to maybe see other people's shows and less for me to do, right? That's the goal is always less for me. I've been on Smoking Joe's numerous times. I think that as a new show, they are one of the best new toy shows going. Almost as good as Circle of Jerks, but not that good. But hey, you know what? They haven't asked me to be part of it, but then it also couldn't be Smoking Joe's if I wasn't part of it. If I was part of it. No, but they just have fun. And the one thing that I've noticed about most of the good toy shows that are growing is it's a few people just having fun, not taking themselves serious, wanting the bullshit about toys and no drama. And I think they do a wonderful job. All of them are friends. Woody is a pretty good friend. Again, so I was more than happy to invite them and ask them to jump in and be part of it. Derek Hoover jumping in here, saying pepper in. I was going to ask Derek to come on, but I don't want to catch any diseases. So again, there's going to be a lot of openings. So I want people to literally jump on in when there's openings. And then when I kick you off, I kick you off. Last year, I was so worried that people weren't going to jump off when it was time for another show, and we had no problems at all. It was great. Okay, after Smoking Joe's, this is something that I was trying. I didn't want to just do another open hour between 8 and 10 going into the clubhouse, which is basically an open thing. And I wasn't sure what to do. And then it kind of hit me because Bees Battleground said, "Hey, how can I be part of this?" I said, "Do you want to donate or be on?" He said, "Well, both." And then I had this idea and I said, what if I do a 2-hour segment and I ask veterans, people that are either serving now or have served, and let's talk to them about how being in the military, how maybe it's affected their collecting, if it has, or maybe playing with toys, whether it be G.I. Joe or whatever, maybe that is what caused them to want to join the military. So as of right now, I have Evo Dookie, who was a sergeant in the Army. He's coming on Bees Battleground, obviously. I have reached out to 2 other people, and one message back and said he's not sure. I hope he can, because he was recently on. And the other guy, I love him, but sometimes he's all over the place. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for him to get back, and I don't even know if he's read it yet, but I'll reach out to him again. So I'm definitely and there's a few other military guys. And again, I'm not just like every military guy, like, but just to see like if being in the military, did that make you get into collecting? And if so, like, what are you collecting? And is there a reason? Or maybe it had nothing to do with it. Or did playing G.I. Joe, I mean, seriously, how many people joined the Air Force and the Navy because of Top Gun, right? And actually, Krusty, that I wanted to talk to you about that, because I wanted to invite you too. I wanted to invite you because I know how you are with your stuff. So I'm inviting you right now. That is the 8 to 10 segment on Saturday. I know it's Canadian military, so you only have like one gun throughout the whole military, but I still want to see how it. Our Michigan militia probably has more guns than all of Canada. Again, gross point blank. I just mentioned that right there. So that's something that I just had, that I just had an idea. How is it going to go? Who the fuck knows? But then again, a lot of this is how does anything go. So we're going to see how that goes there. Action face. Now I'm going to pull a Matthew moment and cry about not being invited. Thursday, you and I have to jump on here and make sure that you can use me as everything, so you can jump on. So you just have the ability to jump on, so it won't even matter, right? Evo Dookie says, I'm excited to be part of it. Thank you again. No, thank you for your service. And obviously for being like, part of this channel. I know people have left. People have come back. People just forget. YouTube stops pushing it out. People probably seen enough of me, and then they're like, hey, I watch you on Circle the Jerks, and I like that show better. I get it, and it's cool. Like, right? I mean, we're all doing this for the love of it. But anyway. Clint Jorgensen says, have a karate instructor segment where they talk about their love for collecting ninjas. And Krusty O'Crow says, thanks for asking me. Punk saves me pestering you. And again, if I don't ask someone, it's nothing against you. All right? Just remember that. There's only so much time. There's only so much time and only so much free space. It is 36 hours, yes. So after that's done, then we go into the clubhouse from 10 p.m. to whenever it ends, right? And Ed will have full control. Now, my goal is just to make it to midnight. Last year, I think I was on till about 2 a.m., and I think they went to either 4 or 5 a.m. So the way that it works is everything that I make through super chats, through PayPal, channel memberships, super stickers, super thanks, and anything the channel makes from videos or whatever from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that all goes to the charity. If you want to send it through I keep wanting to say YouTube. If you want to send it through PayPal, that means you send it friends and family. There is no YouTube tax. I will add it. I will show it. The problem is, let's say you make $1,000 on YouTube from Super Chats. They're going to take their cut. So it may show that you made $1,000, but in the end, that's not how much we're giving. I unfortunately cannot cut the difference. I wish I could, but I can't. So that's how we're going to do it. But as you can see right here, I have a poll up. There's only 66 people that have voted. And I have, last year we raised $3,027 for Toys for Tots. This year we will raise 3,000 to 4,000, 4,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 6,000, and 6,000 or more. And I specifically put that in here because I want to have an idea of how to do this tiered giveaway. Now, I've already talked about how I will be giving away. Tony will be giving away on the customizer portion and Circle of Jerks. He's going to be giving during the customizer a Jada Street Fighter figure. What we're going to do is a Vega. Anyone that donates during that allotted time, their name gets put in the wheel of names. And then when we're done, we'll tell you what time we're gonna spin. We'll spin whatever name we land on. That's who wins it. If you're not there at that time because you donated during it, we will write your name down, and then we'll get a hold of you. During the Circle of Jerks, he's going to give away the Gamerverse Captain America versus Venom. It was Venom, right? If it's not, it's Captain America. That's the only one anyone wants. Same thing. If you donate, your name automatically goes in the wheel of names. And then at the end of the segment, when we say that we're going to draw it, that's when we'll draw it, and whoever it lands on wins. If you're not there at the time, this is where you get a mulligan. I don't pull your name out because you did donate, and that's what we're asking for. So that's how we're going to do that. So you have 2 chances to win. Now, that's what I'm doing right now with giveaways during the show. Action Joe Figs jumping in here saying, "Hey, Ed, I'm here too." Bill K says, "Unfortunately, I don't use PayPal. It will have to be through YouTube." I think I can probably do Venmo also. We can. Let me look into what else we can do. I don't like having too much stuff because then it's kind of difficult. But if there's a lot of people that don't do PayPal, then again, I do like the super chats because it gives people, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking donate $5 or whatever, right? So is Ken here? Say hi to Ken. No, Ken's not here. 3-star says, so you are going to do the majority of the giveaways during the Punk-A-Thon, or are they being saved for Black Friday? I was a little confused about that part. Okay, no, we're going to talk about that right now. All right. So those are ones that Tony literally just brought up to me yesterday. And I'm like, well, let's see what we can do. I don't want to keep trying to give everything away on Black Friday. But we have to make it so we hit our tiers. And I'm not talking about the tiers of crying about toys, but tiers of how we get to things. And I'm going to be doing it where, hey, when we hit 500, we'll have this to give away on Black Friday. So you got to understand, these are all for a Black Friday giveaway that I do. Which means you don't really have to donate to win on Black Friday, but the higher we go, the more we can give. And the reason why I'm really doing this poll, is if 5,000 is what people think we can make, maybe that's where we set our highest goal tier to give stuff away. Hella Geek jumping in here saying, howdy, folks. And then Calshave says, careful, Punk, don't share your Zelle or Cash App too freely. No, that's why I do the PayPal. Then people can just... The PayPal is really easy. I don't actually have Cash App or Zelle. I have Venmo, but that's for other reasons. That's why I really don't like doing that. But some people, I may, if I know you and that's how you want to donate, awesome. For so many reasons, Cal. All right. You know what? we're gonna take a quick break here. What else should we play here?
Hey guys, so just a heads up, somebody made such a mess in Lawrence's bathroom, so don't go in there for a little bit. I'm gonna blame Dopey back here, stinking up the dang toilets. But anyway, welcome back to a Punk with Toys for Tots Streamathon, where for the next 36 hours, October 25th through October 27th, all the channel revenue is going to be donated to Toys for Tots. So he's going to go to this really cool toy store called Sergeant Red's. He's going to buy a bunch of action figures, and he's going to donate them to kids in need. But anyway, there's still a whole bunch more awesome content coming up from a lot of your favorite creators. So make sure you stay tuned for the whole time and just watch the whole show. And make sure you send some super chats or something. But all right, I gotta go take care of this real quick. Bye.
All right. Viper Scout says, "What if it's donated by carrier pigeon?" Hey, if you tell me that you're sending a $50 check or $50 bill by carrier pigeon, and I get it before I have to go in there and give Sergeant Reds their money, then I will add to it. I have no problem. A matter of fact, I'll tell you this: if you find out about it or you forget about, I don't know how you could forget that I was on for 36 plus hours. You hit me up on fucking Wednesday or Thursday after the thing, and you're like, "Hey, I totally forgot about this. Is it cool if I send you $50 to your PayPal?" I'll add it to it. Again, I'm not going to be like, "No, fuck that." Once it's done, it's done. You know, once we've paid for everything, and once I let John know exactly how much it is, because then he starts pulling stuff. And again, it's all new stuff. But anyway, here's how the Black Friday giveaway works. So I'm going to tier things up, right? When we hit specific goals, and I haven't sat down fully yet and decided the goals, but you'll see that there are better things coming. And if action figure sold separately is going to throw one in, then that's even better because we can add that to it. So what I do for Black Friday giveaway, and I started doing this right at the beginning, it was the beginning of my channel, was I gave a 3D printed mech away. And then I did something the following year. I don't even remember what it was. And then last year I said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't I tie this to the Punk-A-Thon, the Streamathon, Punk-A-Thon?" But I wasn't sure how to do it. And it was like, hey, if we hit specific tiers, and we hit all the tiers, it was up to $3,000. We gave everything away, but we don't give it away until Black Friday. And what I do for this is, if you are a channel member, and remember, if you become a channel member during those 3 days, that all goes to Toys for Tots. Your name automatically gets put into this wheel of names. I will create a video like the week before for the Black Friday giveaway. And then all you have to do is go watch the video and put your name in it. Your name has to be what we see it. So Viper Scout right here, if he puts Eduardo in, I'm saying, fuck you, you don't win, because we had a huge clusterfuck last year. And Ed said, no, it is now your name, right? So Graf can't be John Smith, because we're not going to try and figure out who fucking Graf is. It's simple enough. It's your YouTube fucking name. It's not that fucking hard. Yet it is. Okay. So if you put your name in it, then you get put in the wheel of names. So if you're already a channel member, you already have your name in it. If you put a name in it and you're a channel member, you have 2 chances to win. That's how Tony's name got landed on twice in a row while he was on screen. Can't make this shit up. And Tony will be doing it again with me. Yes. If IP Freely shows up and you say, I'm IP Freely, I'm going to say, fuck you. Stu for Lunch says, so say Stu for Lunch 1, so I can clip that and feel good about myself. You can. Edward Gary jumping in and saying, hello, Punk. Okay. So that's the thing. You have to have your name in here. And what you have to be there also. So there are some people that are like, sorry, I can't be there. All right. So what happens is we spin the wheel, and you can see it spin, right? It's live. And you have about a minute to speak up. And if you don't speak up, your name gets removed, and we spin again. And then we spin until we win, or till someone wins everything. Last year, I think we had 5 things to give away. The top thing was a 3D printed Wolverine by Plastic Fantastic. He is also donating something this year. The one below that was a tiger paw. And then I had 3 figures to give away. This year we have more. And this is why I have to tier it up, because I want more people to donate. So the higher we go up, the more stuff we can give away. I'm going to do something I don't really do anymore. I'm going to turn the lights on. You can see my disaster. Everything is a disaster. There's Roman. He doesn't really show up anymore on the show, right? Remember when Roman used to always show up and cause a pain and bark and stuff? He doesn't really do that anymore. Hi, it's me says, we spin until Tony Fix wins. That's how it works. I've already said, if it lands on Tony this year, he fucking wins. He gets it. All right. So this is what I have to give away. So I'm going to start with, I was just kind of show you guys off everything that we have. I'm not going to say who donated it, because some people don't want it to be known. So we're going to start off doing as we tier things up. Okay. No, you're right. Roman is not a disaster. All right. So we're going to tier it up, and we'll probably start off at like, when we hit 500, we're going to give one figure. Well, one figure will be put aside for it. So MCU Punisher, and an MCU Daredevil. We have this Mythic Legion, Sir Gideon. This one was accidentally sent to me by Hella Dope Toys. I ordered something else. I hit Ted up. I said, you sent me the wrong figure. I already have this. And he said, just keep it. And I go, you don't want it back? He goes, I don't know. Play with it. Give it away. So I said, you know what? I'll keep it until the giveaway. So there is one Mythic Legion here. This one will be higher up there as we earn more money. Okay. Let's see here. Like, it's Ronnie Trickshot here. I'm going to make you tear up on Saturday morning. Oh, I can only imagine. Okay. So we got one Mythic Legion. I ordered an extra, the Donner Party Operation Monster Force figure. I'll be giving this away also. Again, probably one of the higher tiers. As we earn more money, there'll be more stuff to give away. We have a Mass Device Breaker. I have 2 crystal balls to give away. That came out so fucking wrong. We have a set of G.I. Joe and Cobra Divers to give away. We have a Ghost Viper. And I know a lot of people want these, and they're fighting for them. We have a Cobra Portal Potty to also give away. And a Cobra Snake Armor. What you don't see here is what Plastic Fantastic is going to donate, which is a 3D printed Silver Mirage, and the I believe he was doing, I forget it's a little sandbag. I don't know, you've seen mine before, but that was printed by someone else. A little sandbag thing. I was hoping to have it. Hopefully I'll have it by then. He's already shipped it out. That will be a set together. So there's that, and then I guess I have to talk with Rob about the his action figure sold separately set and how we're going to do that. So the whole goal is to as we make more money, we unlock more stuff to give away. And again, you can win without donating depending on how much. But the whole goal of this is just to give back to the community. And some people might say, hey, you know what? It's your community, not my community. And that's understandable. I know people donate around their own home, so they don't have the money to donate. And so when I say, if you don't donate, why do you hate the kids? If you take that seriously, I'm assuming you don't really watch the fucking channel and don't realize how I joke about shit. And that's fine, but you're also probably going to piss me off. So on Black Friday, depending on how many of these we unlock, that's how many we give away. And if you become a channel member on those days, and you're a channel member on Black Friday, well, you're already going to have your name in there. Another thing is I probably will do, I don't know what day Black Friday is. So I don't know if you'll still be a channel member if you become one that day, or like if you become one on the Stream-A-Thon or the Punk-A-Thon. I don't know if it'll still be good. I think it should be. But I might do it a little bit later. I'm not going to lie. I might do it a little later. But you have two chances to win. And as we saw last year, it is possible to win. Yeah, I know Black Friday is Friday, but I don't know if there'll be 30 days from that membership is what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, guys, I got it. I know when Black Friday is. It's the name. Stu for lunch gifted 1 Punk membership, and that went to Gun Bunny Custom. So you get a
Welcome to the Creamery.
So I try and tier it up there, so we can earn more money. And as of right now, people are saying anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. I hope we can raise more than that. But I also know in this day and age, money's tight for everyone. We talk about tariffs and toys, but tariffs are affecting everything. And it's one of those things where if you can give some, that's great. And like I said, I'm closing in on 8,000 subs. And not all of them are active, but just imagine if I get $1 from every single one, then we've raised almost $8,000. And Black Friday, I just figured it's a perfect time to give it away. Maybe we'll change it to White Friday. maybe we should call it Hispanic Friday. Although where's Hispania at? No one knows. Tim H jumping in here saying, looking forward to the event. It's a lot of fun. It's a long day and a half, almost 2 days. But But really, I'm just sitting here with my friends, bullshitting, and hoping everything goes well. You feel better when you can. You feel better when you actually see the super chats coming in. And one of the cool things that you can do now is, and I'm not going to ask anyone right now, but there's a thing here. Oops, I don't want to do that. I don't want to super chat myself. There is something that we can do now where we can set a goal. So, like right here, I can say goal 10 super chats for $2, and then I could say for the next. Well, they can only do 3 hours. So I can say for the next 3 hours, show how you'll celebrate. Give to kids. All right, and then I can do this. So now at the top, you can actually see that. Again, I don't expect anyone to. I don't want anyone to do this, but I'll do it for this because it is something special, right? I can't imagine people actually hitting that and doing it for a non-charity. If you see at the top, you'll see it. MCR, I would have very few strip joint stories. If people like going to the strip club, they're more than welcome to. Man, to give your money away to someone you're not going to have sex with, I just don't think it's something that I'd want to do. I just don't think that is something that I feel the need to do. But yeah. But yeah. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I think it was either Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday that somebody had messaged me and said, "Hey, I want to donate some stuff if it's not too much work for you." He goes, "I don't want to make more work for you." And I said, "Hey, it's not making more work. I'm gonna tell the story." He said he doesn't want me to say who he is because it's for the kids, it's for charity, and I respect that. So he hits me up and says, "Hey, I got some stuff I'd love to send you to give away." All right, cool. He didn't say what it was, and he goes, I'll send it out tomorrow. So it went out really quickly. I'm like, shit, dude, I'm in Ohio, but it went out FedEx, which was perfect. I had to sign for it. I was able to redirect it to a FedEx store. So it showed up on Friday. I got home. Saturday, I went out and I grabbed it. I shit you not. I put it down behind my car and I opened it to make sure this fucker didn't send any fucking spiders in the goddamn thing. Thank you, Tripwire. Because there was no way I was going to open it in the car, but I was interested because he didn't say what he was sending. So I was interested to see what it was. And there were no spiders. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than I can say. All right. Look, and there he is. See, look. Yeah. Tripwire right there. Yeah. So now you have me worried anytime someone sends me something. Stu for Lunch says, see you all in another moment of time or chat room. Have a great night. Thanks for the fun, Punk. Thank you for joining. Again, I know this is one of those things where there's not a lot of toy news to talk about. These are the lull times. These are just those low times. There's not much to talk about. And, but I think it's time to just talk about, kind of break down everything so people know exactly what's going on. But as Johnny Reno had asked, hey, you know what? Can you put this out there? I'm going to. I will. I have most of it already written down. I don't know why I pronounce already like that. I've never pronounced it like that in my life. But I have it already written down. I got to add a few things. And yeah, then I can kind of cut and paste it. But that way you guys can kind of have an itinerary. If there's certain people you want to watch, maybe certain people you want to avoid. But I ask every single one of you, if you have a YouTube show, if you have Instagram, you will see me pushing it out the rest of the week, going into Friday. People don't have to like me to donate. Again, it's not for me. I'm not doing this to go on a trip. I'm not doing this to, pay for college or fix my car or have some fucking sad story. This is all for charity, for kids that they deserve better. What I said last year about this, and I said it earlier today, I've never gone without. My dad worked for Dodge Truck when I was young. They were very lean times. But my parents always made sure that we had stuff. My dad grew up with 5 brothers and 1 sister in a 3-bedroom house. So there were 6 boys that shared 1 room. Obviously, the sister had her own room, and then the parents had their own room. He knew what it was like not to have. So he always made sure that we had stuff. You don't really notice it. You don't really notice it as a kid, because I was fairly spoiled when my mom passed away. My dad was doing better at the time because Dodge Truck started making the Dodge Dakota. So they started doing better. So money wasn't as big of an issue. Now, of course, I never saw it. It never dawned on me, and when my mom passed away, my dad, he sacrificed everything for me and my sister. My grandmother helped out. My dad went from working afternoons to get on day shifts so he could be there for us. So, we never went without. My kids have never gone without. As much as at times my ex and I may have struggled having her daughter, going in a relationship where she has a daughter, and then we have a son, and then we have another daughter. It's not like we're rolling in money. But they've always had everything that they need and then some. There's a lot of kids that don't. And it's not their fault. And sometimes it's not their parents' fault. As much as we like to look at people that can't afford to give their kids a good Christmas, or proper meals, so many of us will look and be like, that's on their parents. Well, it's not always on the parents. There are good people that can't. Then there are some kids that it is on the parents. They still shouldn't have to suffer. And these aren't just boy toys that we give away, or that Sergeant Reds donates. It's a lot of the girl toys, strawberry shortcake and stuff like that, and some of the kid toys. So it's for a great cause. So if someone doesn't like me and they want to donate, even better. I even thought about having a punk hater hour and asking all the people that hate me to donate for the charity, just to show that, hey, you know what? Whether we dislike each other or not, this is for something special. But I don't want to deal with people I don't like. So they can still fucking donate. And Cliff is jumping on here, saying I have to hit the bed. Have a good night, Pumpkin, everyone. Thank you for joining. I definitely hope to see you Friday and Saturday throughout there. But yeah. And Hi It's Me says, boy toys. I don't think that's correct. Again, phraseology. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. There's a boy section. There's a girl section. It doesn't mean that boys can't play with the girl toys and vice versa, but there is A difference, no matter how you look at it. You can try and phrase it any way you fucking want. Ronnie Trickshot says 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Sharky's getting his doodads in. I already told you. I already told you guys. All right, this is not the place to try and start fucking trouble. All right, I've already told you guys. So, but I'm going to be on here for 36 hours starting Friday. So I'm not going to stick around for 3 hours today. And there's no news. I truly was like, I've been so fucking busy to understand how many of these Operation Monster Force figures and a couple other figures that I took. And then I actually picked up a couple figures while in Ohio. And I had everything ready. And I'm like, unless if something's going on, there's only myself and there was like one other guy in the class. And he was much younger than me and we really wouldn't had anything in common to hang out with. Dude, I got done with my class. I went to dinner. I went to Walmart and Target numerous times. I came home. I came back to the hotel. I went and worked out. I went swimming, and then I came back and I did these reviews. So, it was putting in a lot of work. And then I still had stuff waiting for me when I got home. Actually, some of the more important stuff that I wanted to review. So, definitely one of those things. And you guys can continue to post the people that I don't like or that don't like me. I'm not going to mention their names. All right. But again, it's about the kids, man. And again, people donate all around their hometown. And maybe that's where you put in the majority of your work. Maybe your wife does something. Maybe your dad does, right? And that's where you put in all your money. And that's understandable. But if you can't donate $1, why do you hate the kids? That's all that I ask. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. As of right now, what it's saying, people are expecting 4,000 to 5,000. I think 4,000 is a fully reasonable amount. We made over 3,000 last year. Again, with PayPal, there's no YouTube tax, but some people won't donate unless they can see where it's actually going, and that I understand. So I do want to see those 277s come through. I like seeing the $100 ones come through because that's great too. And Matthew wants everyone to know quickly that they go on tomorrow from 9 to 12 for the evening blend, but it will be the daily blend on Saturday. So I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys all. I'll see you guys all tomorrow on the Circle of Jerks at 6:30. I'll be plugging it again, but you guys know where to find me this Friday, starting at noon, going all the way till after midnight on Saturday. Everyone have a wonderful night, and I will see you then.